And welcome to the 13th episode of my Road to Ultimate Man Utd Squad. In this episode, we're going to be completing the next 10 games which we did do in the weekend league that just passed, and the requirements for the weekend league that just passed were we had to have a minimum of 16 players from the BPL, from the starting 11 and on the subs, which means you could have 2 players from outside the BPL. And as you can see in the first game that we do come up against a guy who has got a Ben Arfa and Lacazette, but he does take the lead here. Pretty poor save from Romero there. Does come out to Lacazette there, and he does finish to make it 1-0. But we do come back just before halftime. Morgan Schneiderlin finishing it there from Rashford's assist from the corner. We do get a bit lucky. It falls down to Blind, and he does finish it within 63 minutes to make it 2-1. And then in the 68th minute, he does come through with Roberto Firmino, and he does finish to make it 2-2. But in the 90th minute, he did clinch the victory here with Roberto Firmino. Very lucky goal from him, which does give us our first loss of this episode and our third loss within 9 games. So we've got 6 wins and 3 losses up to this point, which is our best ever start in a weekend league, because as you remember last week, we did have 5-5, which we have improved just about it. But you see in this game what happens. Do we make it 6-4 or do we make it 7-3? Well, in this first goal we do score with Schneiderlin. He does come back 3 minutes later with Eriksson. A beautiful goal from him. Just before halftime, we did take the lead with Ahmed Musa, bringing it past my my defender, and he does finish 1-on-1. He wasn't going to miss that. Just before halftime, he did put another goal in, but this time with Fellaini. Very lucky. I don't understand how the keeper never saved that, which was quite unbelievable. But he does take the 4-1 lead and puts it to bed at the 76th minute with a goal from Jamie Vardy. We do take the 510 coins and move on swiftly to the next game. That's our first 10 games complete with 6 wins and 4 losses, which is better as an improvement. We've had 1 more win and 1 less loss, which is pretty good from our standard, which can motivate us to do more and better stuff in the upcoming weekend leagues. As you can see, into the second game, we do fall behind 2-1 in extra time. He did bring on Salah. I think it was extra time. He did bring him on, of course, 93 pace. He was nobody was going to catch him because all my defenders were literally dead. I did bring on Lingard. He did give an assist for Marcus Rashford right there. But in the 115th minute, he did basically put it to bed completely there with a Lukaku goal, which does give us our second loss of this, which gives us our third loss rather in a row and of this episode, which means we have now got 6 wins and 5 losses. In the background, you'll see I'm buying Ahmed Musa. The reason for this was I wanted a super sub. As you saw in the last couple of games, my strikers were feeling a bit tired, so I had Martial on the reserves, so I needed a kind of a super sub, basically a super sub, and I bought him because I've used him a lot of times, and you know he's very effective. So that's why I bought him. In the fourth game we did take the lead with Depay, and a beautiful free kick from him as well. 90 free kick accuracy, which basically that's what you get from a 90 free kick accuracy, which is pretty good for us. And he does bring it back to 2-1, and he does get another one to tie it up. But in the 90th minute, I brought on Musa in the second half, and he does go through. Keeper comes out, chips it over him, and I do win the game. That's what I bought him to win me games rather, and just to give me a kind of pace, just to add pace to the squad. When everyone's when the defenders got about 30 or 40 stamina left, he's there to literally with 99 full stamina with his 93 pace, and he does accelerate and he does finish it for us, which in this game you'll see how many goals he gets. As you can see, the goals never came in till the second half. We did draw 1-1, went to extra time. He does score a second within the 93rd minute, and in the 108th minute he shoves off Sergio Ramos there, goes through in and out of Azpilicueta, the informed 81 pace, and he does finish for his hat-trick, his first hat-trick within his second game. Last game he scored as the winner. This game he scores as a hat-trick, which does give us our second win of this episode and our fifth game. So we've won 2 and lost 3. into our sixth game, we do come up against a guy who's got 42 and he's got wants to watch called Manny, which he did get an upgrade. Now he's got 99 pace, which is unbelievable. For a inform, rather I'd say an inform, but we do concede within 12 minutes from a corner, and then beautiful play here, Rooney to Martial, to Lingard rather, to Martial, which does finish it just before half time. And in the second half, 59th minute, Heung-min Son, I don't know how the hell to pronounce that name, but he does finish it there to make it 2-1, and we do lose our I'd say fourth game of this episode, which is pretty bad. I know I need to switch up the tactics of when I lose games. I need to walk away, because that's what most people do. I watch 89 Skills all the time, and what he suggests is if you lose a game, just walk away and come back after a later time. And big ups to him, honestly. He is he's really inspiring when playing for these champions. Because he without a great team, he does make into top 100 and everything. Is just amazing, what he could do with a kind of average team, to be honest. He's not got the Ronaldos and Bales and everything. He's just got a standard 4-3-2-1 BPL squad with the likes of Kante and everything. But anyways, big ups to him. He did kind of inspire me to do this, but I'm going to say the real inspiration did come from Mr. Capgun Tom. A real guy, a guy who is doing another series called Destination Dortmund, which is similar to this. I did get inspiration from him to do this, so big ups to that guy as well, Mr. Capgun Tom. Anyways, we did lose that. We did actually win that game 4-3, which makes it our third win from I think that's 7 or 8 games, I'm not sure. But we get into our next game, and we do take the lead with Juan Mata from a bad free kick, which he did give away. And then he does a 1-2 here, Martial getting the goal from him. And then a go through here, again with Mata, in and out the defenders. And this goal was actually went down as an own goal, which I don't quite understand of how that went down as an own goal, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, getting to the next goal, Schweinsteiger, absolute beauty from outside the box, 65th minute, and then in the 90th minute, just to make sure of the victory, Henrik Mkhitaryan from a Herrera assist does get the win. 4-1. That gives us our first, second, third, fourth win out of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 8, which means we've got 4 wins and 4 losses at this point, and only 2 games to go. Can we get 6 and 4, or can we get 4 and I don't know, just whatever. Anyways, getting into the next game, the second last game of this episode, we do give away a penalty within 16 minutes, and up steps Christian Benteke, and he does finish, sends me the wrong way, which does give him the 1-0 lead. Anyways, again with Depay, inside a fake shot into Marcus Rashford, 6 yards up, he wasn't going to miss that. And in the 40th minute, he did actually get another goal with Martial coming out of nowhere from a Dembele save. And he does win that game. In the second half, I couldn't break down his defence, which was quite unbelievable. But anyways, we do get the loss, which does give us our 5th loss of this of these next 10 games. Anyways, getting into the last game, we do come up against a guy who's got a very good squad, but we do fall behind yet again. 4th minute, Eden Hazard, a beautiful goal from him. And in the 22nd minute, Martial scoop turn, goes forward, left foot, past Butland. He wasn't going to save that. It wasn't until the 47th minute where a cross from Nathaniel Klein does come in, and he does finish it with what's that guy's name, Coutinho. And in the 90th minute, Martial finishing it to make it 2-2. And that's it. It went straight to penalties, and the first in these penalties, it was quite hard. I don't really like to go to penalties, first of all, because I don't know how the guy is at penalties. If he wants to go to penalties, I surely do not. I find it in 2 weeks ago in my first weekend league, I did want to go penalties because that's how I found to win most of my games, but as I went further on, I find that I don't want to go because then it's more of a risk of losing. That's just my opinion. As we get into the last penalty, we do score here with Lingard, and we do win, which gives us our 11th win, as you will see in a couple of moments. I'm just going to speak over what's going to be happening in the background. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe, share, leave a link. Please check out the description for everything, and I'll see you tomorrow for the last 10 games of this weekend league.